that will keep on. You can't see the first few times that it starts, but eventually it eats the paper or the book or eats anything and everything that comes in its way. That's the way this crack and drugs and whatever it might be is. And this is what the system wants. Do you know we've got more young men in the penitentiary, just think, in the penitentiary, than we've got in the colleges. Now, that's not for whites, because they want to go to college so they can keep me down. But those are the black people, or people of color. Then they have a way of charging cocaine, I don't know, crack or whatever it might be. Anyway, all of them are drugs.
You have mandatory sentences for crack, whereas you can get probation for cocaine. White folks use cocaine generally, and black folks use crack generally.
And what do? They give them a sentence much longer for African Americans. So you see, discrimination and segregation are not dead. Because what they're trying to do, this is genocide. This is nothing but genocide. Who supplies all of these drugs? It's the man that can't be touched. I remember going to a meeting one time, and we had top people of the United States there. And I said, why don't we stop these drugs from going into the communities? And I was told by one of these big shots, we can't stop it. It's too big for us. Well, we can stop it. We can stop using it. And when I say we, I'm talking about our race of people. All we have to do is to stop using it. And we've got people on welfare who take their welfare check and go on and get drugs. When the children need milk and the other children may need shoes or something like that. And unfortunately, they can't tell us what to do because we are younger. But you know what? We've got a mind. And I think so much of this lady I talked with in Philadelphia. No, it was in New York. She said, I'm back in school now. I said, oh, she was an adult. I said, oh, I'm just so glad that you're back in school. She said, you know one thing? I stayed high all of the time. When my child was born, I was high. When he was a youth, I was high. And he would come to me and say, Mama, please get over that stuff. And she said, go on, boy. You go play. And she said, I'll find some more. And I'd even try to make things with what we've got around in the kitchen. And I just stayed high. So last year he was 19 years old. And he said, he was 18 years old. And he said, I just can't take it any longer, Mom. I love you, but I'm going to the service. And he went to the service, and all of a sudden, something clicked. She said, look what I did to my son. Which was a good thing. But she said, I have lost him. I'm going back to school. And I'm going to try my best to show him that I can be a mother. Well, all of those years, she used them. So sometimes we ourselves, as young people, can help the older ones. And some of our parents really need help. And it's not because of the fact that they want to. They are just weak. That's all. And being weak, they just follow that same devil that told Eve, you'll be as wise as they are. So it is that conscience I want you to follow, because your conscience never sends you or have you to do the wrong thing. Now, let's stop here. Let's hear from some of you, or all of you. I'd like to know just, it doesn't have to be in your family, but you know, you're my children. And whenever a child falls, gets into drugs, and to me, they are that little genius in them. And I relate. Let's say that this is one of those little places that we plant flowers. Okay, we planted all of these flowers. We planted the seeds. And then we've watched it, to see every day, to see whether it's growing. And finally, there comes a rain. And then the sun began to shine. And these little seeds began to pop up. And I'm happy because I see that they have grown, or they're going to grow. And then I water them. But in this corner over here, there is a little seed, and all of these now, these little seeds, these are people, these are children, these are babies. And I've cultivated all of them, but this little one over here didn't get the sunshine. It didn't get the rain. It didn't get the cultivation. That little seed just didn't grow. That's a genius in that child that has been cut off.